Okay, ladies, if you are in your perimenopausal years or menopausal years and you're trying to lose weight and nothing is happening, the scale's not moving, then this video is for you. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Kelly Keelan. I am a nurse. I specialize in female hormones and metabolism and weight loss. I'm also a certified weight loss coach and life coach, and I help women all over the world who struggle with weight loss resistance get down to their goal weight. Okay, so what I want to teach you today is something you maybe have never considered about weight loss, about how our body actually loses weight. It's something that no one's probably ever taught you or explained to you. So I really think that by the end of this, you're going to have a different understanding and a different outlook on how weight loss works. And I think it's really going to help you reach your results. So when clients come to me, I usually hear one of two things. I usually hear, I'm doing everything right in this diet. I'm following keto, I'm following vegan, I'm following vegetarian, I'm following carnivore, I'm following low carb, I'm doing it perfectly and nothing is happening. Or I will hear, this diet worked initially. I was losing weight and then it stopped. So 9 times out of 10, what happens is it's not that the diet isn't working for you. It's that you stopped working on the diet. And it's totally makes sense that you would think that because no one's ever really explained to you what's going on. And so the best way to kind of explain that is to really talk about weight loss fluctuations versus weight loss. So I'm going to get my little whiteboard out here. And the first thing I want to demonstrate to you is up here. If this is a year's time right here, from January to January, and our start weight is right up here, this is how we think weight loss happens. It just goes whoop, like that. And actually how your body loses weight is there's lots of ups and downs. Now, these are the fluctuations of weight. And if you also notice, it takes a lot longer than what most people think it's going to. So if you have been thinking that weight loss happens like this is what's keeping you stuck. This is why you throw in the towel. This is why a lot of times you self-sabotage. This is why you kind of diet hop, is because of this belief. And so I think if you really start understanding the fluctuations, which is what I'm going to tell you about, then it's really going to start to make sense to you and you can stay on track. So the first thing I want to talk about is what are weight fluctuations? Well, this is actually just the normal fluctuation of water weight that our bodies have. If you have a normal human body, your weight is going to fluctuate anywhere between 3 and 5 pounds sometimes a day. And it's just a fluctuation of water, and it has nothing to do with actual fat. So here are some of the most common things that influence this weight fluctuation, or kind of this water fluctuation. So probably the two most common ones that I see with my clients are stress and sleep. So any sort of physical or mental stress is going to impact the scale. If you aren't sleeping, that may be one area where you need to kind of work on. Electrolytes is big too. Digestion, if you're having any sort of constipation issues, that can make a big difference. Heat, depending on your altitude where you live, how hot it is, that can really impact water weight. Hormones is huge, especially in this time in our life. We have some fluctuations in our hormones that we haven't experienced before in our life. And so that can really have an impact, especially if you are noticing your progesterone's going down, you're becoming more estrogen dominant as you hit perimenopause and menopause. That imbalance can really affect the number on the scale. Carbs. So if you eat carbs, they are going to draw in and hold in water. that is, the word carbohydrate actually has hydrate in the word. It's holding on to water. If you, depending on your water consumption, if you are dehydrated, that can actually cause your body to hold on to water, a lot of water. So let's say that maybe you are drinking quite a bit of water, but let's say you drink a lot of coffee and you drink alcohol as well. You still could be dehydrated, because those tend to cause, the coffee and the alcohol tend to cause us to lose a lot of water. The other thing is exercise. So most people, I hear it all the time, people start doing vigorous exercise and they notice that the scale goes up sometimes more than 5 pounds. And this is because your muscles have been stressed and broken down through the weightlifting and through the exercise, and then that causes water to rush in kind of as an inflammatory response. So these are some of the most common things in weight loss fluctuations. So the one thing too that I wanted to say about carbs is I hear women all the time say, well, I had a bowl of ice cream and the next day I was 2 pounds heavier on the scale. Well, there is no way that that is actually fat that you gained. Although sometimes we think that, we beat ourselves up and we think it's fat, but it's absolutely impossible to gain 2 pounds of fat from a bowl of ice cream. What that is just water being retained because you consumed the carbohydrates. So I think it's really important to understand that the number on the scale can change dramatically just from these things. And it doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong. You could be following your diet perfectly. You could be eating on point perfectly, and the scale could still go up by as much as 5 pounds. And that has nothing to do with the diet, has nothing to do with you, or that your body is broken, or that you're doing something wrong. It just has to do with water or weight fluctuations. So a lot of times our minds will go crazy when we step on the scale and see the number, and we kind of cause a lot of drama around it, about ourselves and about the diet. But I want you from here on out to really consider these weight fluctuations. The other thing too is our body kind of doesn't handle it kind of, with our changing hormones and our changing metabolism, a lot of times as we get older, we do have more fluctuations in our weight compared to when we were younger. So you may have noticed that happening, that before carbs didn't affect your weight much, or before exercise didn't affect your weight much. And that is just because that as you get older, then sometimes that happens. Okay, so this is weight fluctuations. The second thing is, what is actual weight loss? That's what I want to talk about right here. What is actual weight loss, or otherwise known as fat loss? Because when we're talking about wanting to lose weight, what we're really saying is that we want to lose fat. Not many people are trying to lose weight and they're trying to lose a bunch of muscle or, some other sort of weight. Is fat loss is what we're talking about. And to kind of put things in perspective, 1 pound of fat, in order to lose 1 pound of fat, your body needs to burn about an additional 3,500 calories. That's how many calories are in a pound of fat. So not only does your body have to burn and utilize all the food that you're eating, it also, on top of that, has to burn an additional 3,500 calories just to lose 1 pound of fat. So you can kind of see now how maybe it makes sense that it takes a few days, actually it usually takes a few weeks sometimes to lose 1 pound of fat. This varies from person to person, depending on your age, depending on your metabolism, your metabolic hormones, depending on your activity level. It can take a long time sometimes just to lose 1 pound of fat. So some of you, when you start a diet, especially if you start a low carb diet or a keto diet, and you lose 5 pounds the first week and you think, oh my gosh, I've lost 5 pounds in 1 week, and we're kind of associating that with fat. Sorry, sister, you didn't lose 5 pounds of fat. At the very most, you maybe lost 0.5 pounds of fat that week, probably more like 0.2 pounds of fat that week. So sometimes, like I said, we step on the scale, we see these numbers, and we kind of have a lot of unnecessary drama around it. A lot of times too, here's another thing that happens is, you eat, like I said before, you eat the bowl of ice cream and the next day you gain a couple of pounds, and you start to beat yourself up, you start to get upset. Like I said, there's no way that you gained 2 pounds of fat from that bowl of ice cream. Unless that ice cream had 8,000 calories in it and your body stored it all, there's no way that you gained 2 pounds of fat. So then the question does become then, how do you start to evaluate? Since there's so many fluctuations, how do you start to evaluate, hey, I'm doing this diet. Is this just normal weight fluctuations, or is this actually weight loss? So what I like to tell my clients is give it 10 days. Follow your diet properly for 10 days. And if you don't see the scale drop down to a new low weight after 10 days, then it might be time to reevaluate things. Now notice, I didn't say throw in the towel, give up. I didn't say self-sabotage. I didn't say, hop to the new next diet. I said reevaluate what you're doing. And a lot of times it only takes a few simple tweaks in your diet, and then you can kind of see how that affects the scale after another 10 days. Now, this can kind of become a skill. And what I like to tell my clients is you have to kind of become a weight loss analyzer, kind of like a stock market analyzer. We need to kind of see these fluctuations in our weight, just like the stock market has fluctuations, and we need to be able to see those fluctuations and determine if it's something that needs to take action or if it's just normal fluctuations and you don't need to change anything. So we go into this a lot more in my program with clients of kind of how to kind of be this analyzer and how to kind of look at food and hormones and stressors and really determine if this is actual weight loss or fluctuations. And it's, like I said, it's very individualized depending on the person and what their situation is. But I teach you how to really become the weight loss analyzer. And part of that too is becoming successful with that is really learning how to track your weight, to record it, and to kind of have that consistency with not only your diet, but with tracking like on a spreadsheet. And so it's, like I said, it's a skill that can be learned. But once my clients really understand this, and now too that I've kind of explained this to you and you really start to understand it, actually this is what you need. This is a lot of times the missing piece that you need in order to lose weight, instead of trying to change a bunch of things about your diet. So if you found this helpful, if you want to find out more information on how I can help you lose weight, if you're really struggling with stubborn weight loss resistance, if you want to see more videos like this, then you can check out my website at kellykeelan.com, and I'll put the information in the show notes, and you can find out more about me. You can find out more about this kind of information, and maybe how, if you want to get a hold of me, how you can go about doing that as well. So, all right, thanks for listening. I want to hear what you thought of this video. Can you relate to this? If you have any questions, you can put them below as well. All right, so thank you for listening.